Hi everyone, I'm Gayle and welcome to this 15-minute total body yoga flow. We'll be working on our hands, our feet, our shoulders, our hips, our spine, our core, some balance, and basically getting a little taste of everything. Let's start on our hands and knees in tabletop, and we'll begin working on our hands. So you can face your fingers toward your knees or out to the side and begin to rock in the direction of your fingers. So if your fingers are facing toward your knees, rock forward and back. And if they're facing out to the side, rock from side to side. And then whichever direction they're facing, begin to circle around your hands with your body, feeling the weight shifting on different parts of your hands. And then turn your hands in a little bit and begin to rock from side to side. Make fists with your hands, and with the back of your hands on the floor, begin to bend your elbows to release the stretch and straighten them to increase the stretch on the top of your wrists. This might feel a little tender at first, but it's really good for your hands. Now sit back on your heels, bring your hands behind your hips, and see if you can lift your knees off the floor. And if you can, maybe you can find a little balance with your hands off the floor. If you can't do either and you just feel a stretch, that's just fine. And now we'll begin to get into the shoulders. So start circling your arms in one direction and then the other direction. Back and forth. And then we'll do full circles. So 3 full circles in the same direction, and then reverse it, and 3 full circles in the other direction. Now we'll switch sides. So with the left hand, begin to circle up and back, and then up and forward, and up and back, and up and forward. One more time. And then full circles in the same direction. 3 circles. And reverse. And then both hands down in tabletop and begin to cat-cow. So as you inhale, arch your back, and as you exhale, round your spine. Taking your time to see how much range of motion you have in your spine. And then begin to just glide your hips, your ribs from side to side. Lift your left leg out to the side about hip height and do some gentle pulses. Lifting your leg up a little higher each time, working those glutes. Keep going. And then begin to straighten your leg and bend your knee. Just back and forth. Every time your leg is straight, it's going to be more challenging. Just going back and forth between bent leg and straight leg. And lower your foot out to the side. Shift your hips back and forth, getting into the inner thigh. Nice slow rocking motion. And you can roll your foot in or out, but just be aware of how you're placing your foot and how it feels different depending on if your foot is flat or if it's tilted inward or outward. And then we'll do the other side. So pulsing that right leg up and down, just little pulses, feeling the glutes activating. Not a big movement. And then holding your leg up, begin to straighten your leg and bend your knee. So straighten and bend, back and forth. Trying to keep your knee from dropping. So trying to keep the knee and the foot up as high as you can. Really getting into those glutes. And then place your foot down out to the side and rock forward and back. Just glide around any direction that you are inspired to do. And come back into tabletop. Sit back on your heels in child's pose. On your inhale, round the spine forward all the way into a cobra. So hips come down, shoulders back, chest forward. And lift your hips and your back and stretch back to child's pose. And we'll continue this wave-like motion coming forward, slowly lowering the thighs and the hips down, pulling the shoulders back, opening the chest up, cobra. And then lift up through your hips and your back and glide back to your heels in child's pose. Again, inhale, round forward. Slowly lower down, trying to keep the spine nice and long, getting into the upper back, using those back muscles, not just relying on your hands and your arms. And then shift your weight back into child's pose with your toes tucked. Keep your arms nice and long and see if you can just lift your hips up into the air. Begin that same wave-like motion between down dog and plank. Rolling, rounding the spine forward, arching, lifting the hips back. So keep your knees as bent as you need to. And then in plank position, lift your right leg up, right about hip height. Maybe move your foot around a little bit. Then switch sides. Lower the right foot down, left leg comes up. Holding a one-legged plank. And lower your foot down, stretch back to your downward facing dog. And walk your feet forward to your hands, coming into a standing forward fold. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. And just think of lengthening the spine here. Holding it for a few breaths. And then forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your fingers toward the sky, heart up, and hands together in front of your heart. On your next inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, place your hands down and step back into plank. Keep your back and your belly strong. And then lower onto your forearms, coming into forearm plank. Keep a nice lift through your belly and your spine. Relax with your breath. You can always lower your knees down or keep them up. So you decide. And press your hips back and walk your feet forward, coming into a dolphin prep. So you're on your forearms, keeping your weight back behind your elbows if you can. Bend your knees a little bit. Walk your feet back, keep your weight way back. And if you can, see if you can push into your hands and lift your forearms off the floor, coming back into your downward facing dog. On your inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Keep your knee high as you step your foot forward into a lunge. Inhaling, rise up, crescent lunge. Keep reaching up through your heart. Then interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. Pull your elbows forward and reach your elbows up toward the sky. And release your hands, keeping your shoulders where they are. And then open the arms, coming into warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back into warrior two. Shift your right hip back and keep reaching forward. Lowering your hands down to the floor, your leg or a block for triangle pose. Again, try and keep the spine nice and long here. Arms in line with each other. Then reach your top arm forward, bend your right knee, coming into side angle pose. Rest your right forearm on your right thigh and begin to circle your arm. Nice big, slow circles. And reach up and back, reverse your warrior, and windmill the arms. Paralleling both feet, come into a wide-legged forward fold. Begin to bend one knee at a time, getting into those adductors, those inner thigh muscles that tend to be tight on us. They get tight from sitting. And then heel toe your feet into center. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. And we'll do tree pose. Nice balancing pose. So set a strong foundation in your foot and pick your right leg up, placing it on your inner thigh or on your calf or your ankle, and reach your arms up nice and tall, pulling those ribs in, lengthening the spine, keeping your foot nice and strong. Step back into your wide-legged forward fold. Again, just shift your weight side to side, bending one knee at a time. And then walk your hands forward, rotating your right foot forward, and step back, downward facing dog. Same thing left side, so on your inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step your foot all the way forward. Crescent lunge. Inhaling, rise up with your breath. Keep lifting your heart toward the sky. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Bring your elbows up, reach up through your elbows, and then release your hands, reaching your hands back from your shoulders. And open up into Warrior Two. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. And come back to Warrior Two, then shift your left hip back, reach forward, triangle pose. Take your time to find your twist, to find that length in your spine. And reach your arm over your ear, bend your front knee, side angle pose. Place your left forearm on your left thigh and begin to circle your right arm. Nice big slow circles. Feeling that full range of motion, and then reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Straighten both legs and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Begin to shift your hips from side to side, bending your knees, working on those inner thighs, and heel toe your feet together. Come up to standing. We'll do tree pose on the other side. So pick your left foot up, bring it to your inner thigh, or your calf, or your ankle. Reach your arms up toward the sky. Breathe. Always remember to breathe. The most important thing is your breath. Doesn't matter if you fall. Doesn't matter if you can do tree perfectly or not. We want to be aware of our breath and breathing. So come back into your wide-legged forward fold. Again, shift from side to side. Now bring your left hand behind your back and twist open to the left. Release your left arm up, and we'll switch sides. So right hand behind your back, open up through the chest, the shoulders, the ribs. Release your arm up toward the sky. Bring your hand down, walking your hands forward, and come into downward facing dog. So come up onto your toes, hop or step forward to your hands, lift up to a flat back, and bow, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, we'll come into a squat. So lower your hips as low as you can. Just take a moment to rest here. And slowly sit back. And without using your hands, slowly roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And rock around on your hips. And cross your right ankle above your left knee for eye of the needle. So the right arm is threaded in between your legs. And you can clasp your hand on the back of your thigh or the front of your shin. But the most important thing, or one of the most important things, is to keep your hips down and your shoulders down. And you can do gentle little pulses, hugging that left leg in a little closer to your chest. The closer your shin is to your chest, the deeper the hip stretch is going to be. And release your arms out to the side and twist, bringing your right leg over to the left, keeping your knee up toward the sky. Then you can palm press using your left hand on the inner right thigh to get an extra little stretch there. Or you can just let your leg rest on your hand. So it just depends on what your intention is, what your body's telling you that it wants. And come back up to center and switch sides. So left ankle crosses above the right knee. Thread your left hand in between your legs and interlace your fingers on the back of your thigh, the front of your shin. And just gently move, pulsing your right leg in towards your chest, maybe gliding a little bit side to side. Just exploring movement in this pose. Again, you can always hold the front of your shin. Take this time to relax with your breath. And then open your arms out to the side and we'll twist the left leg over to the right, keeping your knees separated, keeping the left knee lifted, and maybe taking your right hand to support or to press your left inner thigh open. And always seek balance between strengthening and lengthening, between effort and surrender. No matter what we're doing, we can seek for that balance. No matter what pose we're doing, no matter if we're in a car or if we're at our desk or if we're walking in the woods. And come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Hug your right knee in and stretch your left leg out, hovering your leg just above the floor. Maybe circle your ankle, that could feel good. And lower your left leg down, still hugging the right knee in. And come into a half happy baby. So lift your right foot toward the sky, keeping your left leg straight. Allow your knee to descend toward the ground. And then straighten both legs, and we'll switch sides. So hug the left knee in, hover the right leg just above the ground. Circling that ankle, the right ankle, both directions. And lower your right leg down. Give one more little squeeze with your knee into your chest, and then foot to the sky, happy baby. One-legged happy baby. And bring your right leg up to full happy baby. Both legs are in happy baby now. And gently rock from side to side. And you can play around here. If you can straighten both legs, straighten your legs. If you can straighten one leg at a time, do that. If you want to just stay in happy baby, you can do that. So just be creative here, be playful. And then release your feet and squeeze your knees in, lift your chest up, maybe kiss your knees, and stretch out for Savasana. Total relaxation, total resting pose. Make any little adjustments that you need so that your back feels completely relaxed. And stay here for as long as you like. Thank you so much for watching this video, for practicing yoga with me. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and most importantly, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Namaste.